The new MaxPreps Top 25 sees Centennial and Arizona crack the rankings after a nail-biting win over Chandler last week. This was billed as the top game of the state this season, one of the best in the country, as Centennial nearly lost despite having a 26-point lead at halftime. Wolves owned the second half, but it wasn't enough to stay undefeated as the Coyotes from Peoria improved to 7-0 on the year. So Centennial gets in at number 22 and will enjoy a bye week until facing Chaparral on the 20th at home. Mill Creek out of Georgia also makes it in the rankings, coming in at number 25 with a monster matchup with 5th-ranked Buford on the horizon. That's a good time to move into the top 10, where we mentioned Buford. These Wolves, sandwiched in between St. John Bosco and Mater Dei. Epic top 10 matchup between the SoCal and Trinity League powers. The Monarchs will make the trip from Santa Ana to Bellflower to take on the Braves. And it is time to say hello to MaxPreps royalty. Once again, reunited with my guys, Zack, Poff, and Steve Montoya. So if we start off with Team of the Week. Zack, I'll have you go first here. Which program are we highlighting this week?
Yeah, that team you were just touching on right there, Centennial out in Peoria, Arizona. That was the most impressive win for me last week. A battle of two 6-0 teams. This was pegged as our MaxPreps game of the week, and it sure lived up to the hype. It didn't look like it at first because Centennial jumped out to that 26-0 lead, just dominated the first half. Then Chandler got a late touchdown in the first half to kind of change momentum, but Centennial was able to hold on. And there were two guys I was really impressed with this game going in. We had them circled and they balled out. The first was Noah Carter. He had a great toe tap touchdown in this one to get Centennial on the board. And he was in the backfield all night, just getting pressure on Blake Heffrod and forcing him to get rid of the ball too quick. And he just dominated on both sides of the ball. And then also 3-star Kenny Worthy. This is a DB and a wide receiver. He made big-time plays for Centennial when they needed them, especially late in the game. And Centennial was one of two new teams to jump into the top 25 after handling Chandler, their first loss of the season. Also, Tommy, this was the first time Centennial has beaten Chandler since 2010. So a marquee win for that program. And they're now one of two teams in Arizona ranked in the MaxPreps top 25.
That's some great context, because I can only imagine the nerves after being up at halftime and then having to deal with that second half where you could almost maybe give it away and then extend that drought, so to speak. Steve, where are we going with your program to highlight this week?
Yeah, let's go to the Lone Star State in Texas in Duncanville. They improved to 5-0 after an impressive 44-10 over a very good Waxahachie squad. And the offense for this team is so fun to watch, and they're mixed in with just an incredible defense. They're going to be a very tough team to beat. 4-star QB junior Keelan Russell, he threw for 268, 3 TDs. 5-star LSU commit Decory Moore, he's pretty much unstoppable. He had 3 receptions and a touchdown in this game. Fellow LSU commit Caden Durham also had a pair of touchdowns. Like I said, the defense is fun to watch as well. They've allowed just 23 points in 5 games.
That's off to a good start. And now if we go to top players, Zack, what do we got?
Yeah, there were a lot of guys to pick from, but I got to rock with my guy Julian Lewis, Carrollton, Georgia, the number 17 team in the MaxPreps top 25. He's only a sophomore, and you can make a case he's as good as any quarterback in the country regardless of class. He's the number 1 rated player overall in the class of 2026. And all he did last week, he threw for 455 and 6 tutties. The dude was in his bag, balling out. And I've been super impressed with Carrollton. They dropped their first game of the season against Langston Hughes. Since then, they've won 6 in a row. And they've absolutely dominated everybody. And Tommy, my favorite stat so far this year, Julian Lewis, once again, only a sophomore. He has 24 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions on the season. And I think Carrollton, this is a team they lost in the 7A state championship game last year. I would not be surprised if they got back there again this year and they have a chance to win that state title, especially with Julian Lewis slinging that thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Maryland. We have some on MaxPreps we call stat freaks, and Ryder Johnson is the definition of a stat freak from this past week. He had 317 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns. This was all in the first half. He did that. Those are both Maryland State records. His team won 70-34. Imagine if he played the second half, what could have happened, but he had 12 receptions in that game. He averaged 26 yards a catch. He's pretty open quite a bit of the time, but he made some phenomenal catches as well. So big night and day, you could say, that Ryder Johnson had for North Hagerstown out in the state of Maryland.
All right, and now, Steve, I'm going to throw it back to you and then have Zach follow. So we've already targeted Team of the Week, Player of the Week. What about Play of the Week?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Kentucky, Dew Point Manual, and the reason this one is a top play because it was literally right at the end of the game to win it. Zeke Washburn made the catch. I love that there's a hill right there as well. Eli Creech threw it to him. They all run up the hill. They go up and celebrate with their crowd. You gotta love high school fields sometimes, but this was literally a game winner to beat a rival St. Xavier in the state of Kentucky. That's Zeke Washburn right there in the corner of the end zone running up the hill.
And the dude I'm rocking with, a very familiar name we've seen all season long, Corner Canyon's Isaac Wilson, a four-star Utah commit. I just love the play he makes right here. He's able to get outside the pocket here. He's having a big-time year, too, and Corner Canyon's ranked at number 18 in the MaxPreps top 25. Able to get outside the pocket and watch him. He pulls kind of a little matrix move right here and just throws an absolute seed touchdown for Corner Canyon. This is a team that absolutely been rolling this year, and the main reason why is because of Isaac Wilson. Utah is getting a big-time dude who's going to probably have them contending for going undefeated when he gets there. This is going to be a guy that's going to be huge when he gets there, but he's got one thing on his mind this year, and that's to win a state title for Corner Canyon. He's been throwing absolute darts this year, over 3,000 yards passing and 41 total touchdowns.
Before I let you guys go, set the table for me, Zach, in terms of the matchup of the week, and what are the chances there's going to be a heavy MaxPreps influence and presence at this game?
Man, I'm excited. I'm going down Friday night. I'm going to be there, modern-day St. John Bosco. This is the marquee game in high school football. It's been like this for the last 8 years. You look at these two programs, they've won 4 MaxPreps national championships since 2017. Modern Day went wire-to-wire in 2017 and 2021. Bosco, the defending MaxPreps national champs, and they also won it in 2019. There's nothing more St. John Bosco wants to do than to ruin Modern Day's season. Modern Day so far, they're 7-0. They have not trailed at any point this season. St. John Bosco has that one loss against Kahuku, but they have bounced back strong. They've posted huge wins in their 2 first Trinity League games. This is going to be a fun game. Cal Preps came out with a score prediction. They had it 35-17 Modern Day. I think it's going to be a little tighter. St. John Bosco has a very, very good defense, so I think points are going to be hard to come by on Friday. And just follow me on Twitter, man, for live updates. We'll also be having this game live audio on Game Mic, so make sure and listen to that. But yeah, this is going to be a fun game. And really my favorite stat going into this, Modern Day is 90-4 since 2016. All 4 of those losses have come against St. John Bosco. So really these two teams are almost on their own level. And this is going to be a fun game on Friday. And it's probably going to be the first of 2 matchups we see, because we'll probably see these 2 powerhouse programs meet again down in Southern California right around Thanksgiving weekend for the CIF Southern Section Division I Championship. And also, more thing, there's going to be 76 players in this game that have landed at least one FBS offer.
Is that all?
That's it. Done. I promise.
It's kind of funny, just that number randomly. I don't know if you guys heard PJ Fleck. He talked about Jim Harbaugh's Michigan team, and he said, man, it seemed like Michigan brought like 75 or 76 players out, and we faced all of them out there. So interestingly enough, a little bit of symmetry with that number. All right, Zach, certainly appreciate it. Make sure you check out the guys over at MaxPreps that'll have you covered for everything in terms of high school sports. One more note on that big game that Zach will be at. Eric Schonheimer of the LA Times tweeting out that this game is sold out. The Bosco Modern Day football game, the remaining tickets went on sale at 9 a.m. this morning. Sold out in 3 minutes. 6,200 tickets gone just like that.